Welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Just before we get rolling here, want to take a quick second and give a shout out to our sponsor, 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road in Troy, New York. Make sure you stop in there, check them out. They got everything you're looking for, from flour, edibles, pre-rolls, tinctures, vapes, you name it, they got it. Let them know that the Pitch Putt and Puff crew sent you. Tonight, we're going back out to the West Coast. Some of you guys probably heard the company he's working with right now. We got my man Tyler from Twhyyytv and ForeLeftt. What's up, buddy?
How are we doing? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, bro.
It's an honor.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had your partner Brian on a couple weeks ago. Real good dude. You guys are doing some big things out there with ForeLeftt, I see. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you guys got going on?
Yeah, so to start off, I'm Tyler. I have my own personal brand called Twhyyytv. Currently in Los Angeles. And yeah, I'm a golf content creator. I make a lot of entertaining, relatable stuff. Obviously, I'm not a scratch or a stick golfer is what they would say yet, but we're working towards it and we're documenting the journey. He's brought up a good point. We have a brand called ForeLeftt that we're kind of starting to legitimize. It's just one of those, like, it's like having what's another big, or like kick left, or like something like that, like just little like quick short phrases in the golf game. We decided to go with ForeLeftt just because we miss a lot of drives left, and everybody says it. So basically what we're trying to do with that is host tournaments, grow the community. We're going to start like selling hats, gloves, little accessories, not trying to like really step on toes with like the polo game or the joggers or the like shoe game. And yeah, we're just trying to make that as like our group channel, and then all of our personal channels push to that. Gotcha. So it's like a big funnel almost.
Yeah, almost like where everybody can just, you can collab with everybody and just like networking with inside the golf industry. I like that.
Yeah,
because you guys even shared a few of my posts, which is, I appreciate, being such a small up and coming podcast and shit like that in the golf world. I'm trying.
We got less followers than you right now, so don't even worry about it, bro. We're all trying to help each other at the end of the day, and it all dictates on just like what works. Does this fit? Does that collab fit? And then honestly, if you're in the golf world, then you're a pretty cool human being. Like, we pretty much fit. So
right.
You know?
Yeah, because we were talking a minute ago, but when I first got like serious about the podcast, and you actually reached out to me and offered it, because I was just doing audio at the time, and you offered to help me out with some like digital creations, and we had a conversation about like either you're in or you're out when you're doing a podcast. So, and at that time I was waffling back and forth. I had my co-host, I had to go through some shit, so he wasn't available all the time, and then I wasn't really interviewing people or anything, like going that angle yet. And then you said you either had to commit to it or don't do it at all. And I literally, after that conversation, dude, I literally jumped all in on it for the most part.
I love that, dude. And I think that's not even just with the podcast. That's just with life, with whatever you're trying to do. It's like, dude, especially with the stuff that we're trying to do, with like putting ourselves out there and building it's like digital real estate almost, like the stuff that we're doing, and you really have to either step aside and wait till you're ready to go, like full on, this is what I want to do, I'm committing to this, or you have to go, like I said, full on committed, no days off, and you just have to grind, because at the end of the day, like, there's so many people just like us that are doing the same exact thing.
Yep.
They're working harder than you and working harder than me. What are we doing? You know what I mean? So
exactly. Like that. Even tonight, like, I got another interview tonight just because it's someone out on the West Coast, but it's convenient for you guys. It's 7 o'clock for him out there, but I'll be 10 o'clock out here on a Friday night. But it's something where I actually had to cancel my first interview ever, and I was like, shit. And it's a pretty big interview for me. And I had to cancel, and I was like, shit. And I've been trying to get him back, and finally he's like, yeah, I can do like 7 o'clock. I was like, guess I'm staying up a little bit later than expected, but it's worth it in the long scheme of things, just to network it and build the connections. It's kind of even how I knew about Brian, was through this connection. So
yeah, you have to sacrifice to gain, and it's the same thing in life, same thing with content. Like you can't just expect to reap the benefits and not have to struggle a little bit, you know?
Mm-hmm. So how
So
long you been playing golf?
just about 2 years.
Oh, you just started playing. Okay.
Yeah. So after I'm 22, so
Okay.
right after high school, COVID hit during my senior year, and they kind of just
Mm-hmm.
was like, "You guys graduated, like we got nothing for you." um, and then COVID kind of shut the world down, and I wasn't really into golf yet, or like I've said this to a lot of people before. Growing up on the East Coast, golf is not one of those things that's like you're either football, basketball, or baseball or
Yep.
hockey.
Yep.
And like golf was never one of those like mainstream sports yet. So I never even knew about golf. But luckily I was an athlete and quickly I was able to adjust, you know?
Yeah. Because I'm in New York, and same thing. Like high school, you were playing football in the fall, you were playing basketball in the winter, baseball in the summer. That's
Yeah.
just how it went. And there was really, in between that, there was no time for golf. I mean, I played a couple times with buddies who were on the golf team or would go out there with their fathers and play. But I was a lefty baseball player, golf, and I had no lefty golf club. So I've had to teach myself the golf righty. So that's a whole transition in itself. So
You
it
so
wasn't,
you're a righty?
I golf righty now. Yeah. I taught myself the
That's,
golf righty.
that's crazy.
Yeah. It
Because of the
was,
lack of clubs.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't go out and buy a set, and like I didn't really know, I wasn't gonna go on like Facebook Marketplace, whatever. My father had an old set, and I
Yeah.
switched it a little bit in baseball, but not a lot, not a lot.
Okay.
So I had, the sense of the swing, but I just literally probably took me a good year and a half to just get comfortable swinging the club and feeling like I was swinging a golf swing, opposed to like not moving my feet, that kind of thing. Um,
That's gonna be hard. Like I can't even imagine switching dominant sides, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's weird because I throw right-handed. I do everything else right-handed. Basketball, I mean, I can shoot a little bit. I can't shoot a three accurately with the left, but I can get a shot up with the left and all that shit. But um, the process of just doing it, like my one buddy, he's probably like a 4 or 5 handicap. He literally took me under his wing and was like, "All right, calm the fuck down. You're slow your backswing down. Do this, do that. Keep your arms straight." And so forth. And like once I actually like started caring a little bit and was sick of shooting 120, I was like, all right, let's do this. And then over the past 3 years, I've seen like a slow progression. I'm probably down to like a 12 handicap right now, sticking in the mid 80s. Yeah, sticking in the mid 80s and just really starting to gain some power like behind the drives and the clubs because I'm getting the fundamentals down more and putting all my body weight into it opposed to just my arm swinging and shit like that.
Yeah, it takes a while, and I like I said, I couldn't imagine going from like the only thing that I can kind of relate to that is where when I was playing basketball as a very young kid, all the coaches said only dribble with your left hand if you're a dominant righty. So
Mm-hmm.
I only dribble with my left, and I became a left-handed dominant dribbler. So
Okay.
it's like I couldn't really go right.
Yep.
I laid up right, I shot right, but I just could always dribble with my left. So it was like one of those things where it's like mentally like, how do I guard this kid? Because like he loves to dribble with his left, but he goes right.
Yeah, he's gonna play it to the right every time and be dominant enough to get by you with the right hand, going right side too. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And then left, I could finish with the left and I could dribble with the left.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just this weird little mix up. So I definitely see in a way golf, I can't imagine just like going to swing lefty.
Yep.
Just
It was
wouldn't
tough.
do it.
It was a real tough transition for sure. Because I like even with the basketball, I broke my right hand when I was in like 5th grade, and I couldn't play for like a month. So I lived. My father was the coach. I still had to go to every practice and shit. So I was the kid dribbling up and down the court with my cast on with my left hand, and that over that time of doing that for the solid year, I was all fucked up with the hand. I just became somewhat ambidextrous, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it related to the golf game for me, but it seems to be working so far. We'll see what happens this coming year.
I hear that. So it's not even golf season for you guys yet, huh?
No, we're
Or have you golfed yet this year, but now you can't?
so I've been out one day in January. It was like 45, 50 degrees. So, and it was still a little bit frozen. So any water sitting on the course or anything like that, it wasn't bad. We could go out there and play.
Oh,
So I went and played quick 9 holes. It wasn't really enjoyable, to be honest with you. And then we went out probably a month ago now, but it was soaking wet. All the snow had just melted. The greens were actually, they played pretty good, surprisingly. I thought it was going to be like a slow where you hit it and it just stops on you kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad. And then 2 weeks ago, it was pretty nice out, but it was a Saturday. I couldn't get out. I had some family obligations to take care of. But like I said, we're supposed to be opening up the courses. It was supposed to be March 25th, but we're supposed to get about 1.5 feet of snow this coming Sunday, the 24th. So they put it back to April 1st or 2nd, depending on the weather.
So wild. I actually never really. So when I first started golfing, it was September in Boston. So I never really had a winter of like golf. So when I moved out here, it was September, and I was like, "Yo, it's December 24th, like Christmas Eve." I remember playing,
Yeah,
and it was 65 degrees out, and I was like, "Yo, this is like," it threw me through a loop.
right.
Like, it was a trip. So then I was like, "Damn, why don't we just?" Because we had cameras and we had the podcast set up, so we were like, "Why don't we just record this?" And this was before everybody really started getting into the golf content.
Yep.
And I was rocking like, just imagine the shittiest quality footage and like the worst audio, everything. That's what I was doing. And then my roommate was like, he was filming with the camera and then he was holding his phone up like this. And then he was like, "Yo, this phone looks way better than that."
Yep.
Because it was like a $1,500 camera versus the phone. You think in your head, not knowing tech, that the camera is going to be better than the iPhone. But the iPhone actually crushed it. And that's what, like, once I started posting the iPhone content, 10,000 views, 12,000, 15, 8, 6, 100 followers a month on all across platforms. And I was like, yeah, this is going to work. You know, so that was kind of the eye opener for me.
That's funny you say that because I actually just did the same thing. I mean, I was always just bullshitting, recorder on my phone. And I try to, like, some of my guys don't like being recorded. So I just kind of put like a mount in the cart, set it to them, zoom it up, and try to get videos of certain guys. But then I upgraded my phone and I put it on the cinematic view and all this shit. I'm like, holy shit, like, this is nicer than my one Canon camera I have at the house. I'm like, damn.
Exactly. It's sick because it basically auto color grades already. Like, the iPhones are built so well that it like already brings out those like dopamine colors of like the green, the blue on the golf course.
Yep.
And you're like, dude, why am I even using a camera that's gonna SD cards and drag all this footage in? Where like I have a MacBook to my phone, so it's just like AirDrop.
Boom.
Takes 2 seconds. I don't have to have a memory card. Oh, we ran out of memory. We can't even film. I'm like,
yeah, you're on the 15th hole and it's starting to get clutch and everything's batteries are dying, memory cards are full. Yeah.
Not fun.
Nope.
That's why we pivoted. So I think the iPhones, for all the creators out there, don't underestimate your iPhone.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's convenience. Just the convenience of it alone. I mean, you can get those little sticks, you throw it on the stick, you get a good video.
iRange. I have an iRange. Yeah, I have an iRange. It's, dude, because in California, the slopes, you're shooting on a hill like this, and you got to go 220 yards on a tucked green with water in front, and you can't do that with a regular tripod. Like, it's just not going to sit right. iRange, put it down, click record, good to go. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy. So I recently seen you and Brian had a little bit of a tournament, a little 2-man scramble with the only golfers. I got Ernie coming on next week, so I got to get your side of what happened out there. Tough day for you guys, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna come right out and say this part. They're both single digit handicaps.
Okay.
And on my handicap actually says low 12, high of 16, and Brian's is low of 10, high of 16, and theirs are like low of 5, 6, high of like 8.
Okay.
Both of them, and they've both been playing since they could walk. Me and Brian both started playing 2 years ago. I know Ernie very well. He's invited me out to some of his tournaments. We've played numerous amount of rounds. He's helped me when I've thrown tournaments, and I get to use his app, and he helps me out. So a lot of respect to them. And I was like, dude, I just know they're good for content. Let's just play a match.
I watched 90% of it. I was like, this is great.
Yeah,
the 2 pairings were cool. Like it was a good collab for you guys for sure.
the golf at the end of the day could always be better, but I mean
Yeah.
that's the story of golf. And yeah, they played very well. We unfortunately didn't. We missed a lot of putts. I mean, I don't think we hit a single putt.
Yeah.
So it's not much you can do when you're just praying for them to four putt.
Yeah. Yeah. Putting
So,
stuff, man. So how are
yeah,
the courses out there? What's do you guys play a lot? Like that you have a membership at a particular course, or do you bounce
no,
around? You guys
no,
bounce
we
around?
bounce around. Yeah, LA is so big, and I don't know if you've been seeing like the free the tees stuff that Dave Fink and kind of all the West Coast guys are doing. It's like basically like it's so hard to get tee times at a lot of courses because of the amount of golfers, and it's year round. So none of these golfers are taking the winter off and then all of a sudden not golfing that next winter because they haven't golfed in a year or
Right.
6 months, right? So people are golfing all year round. You're not losing. People aren't just like, oh, I'm not into golf anymore. It's
Right.
opposite. It's where like, oh, I'm into golf now. So tee times just fill up, fill up, fill up. I think our home course, I don't know if when Brian told you, but we have a course out in Palm Springs called the Oasis. And
Okay.
then we also have a course out here, Brookside, which is in Pasadena. You know the Rose Bowl?
Yeah, he was saying there's a big you guys are doing a big tournament near the Rose Bowl or something. We talked
Yeah,
about.
yeah. So that course is Brookside by the Rose Bowl. Like I think that or Brookside Rose Bowl course
Okay.
is like what it actually is. And for all you guys listening out there, that's pretty much where the best college teams play at the end of the year. LSU and Alabama, I think, was the last matchup there. So, moral of the story, it's a very well-known course, and that's our like home track.
Gotcha.
We'd have technically have a membership there, but it's more of like a content creator, like just go plug their brand and highlight their course, you know?
Yep. Yep. That's what I don't have that quite level yet. I have a local course. I'm a member. I get taken care of. Same like if I need a tee time. It's pretty much not an issue if I didn't book it early or whatever the case may be. So I get 2 spots every Sunday. I got 8 guys. Sometimes I get 3, so I'll run out there with 12. And we basically everybody plays the round. At the end, we come in. Everybody hand out cards. Whoever has the 2 aces, they're a team. Whoever has the 2 kings, they're a team. Lowest combined score wins. For we play $25 or whatever. Just a bunch of friends out there. So that's how this all started, really, because I just started talking about that, and then we were out there pitch putt and puffing. So that's how it pretty much got rolling, and started my content with that. But then I got into using the internet aspect of it because I'm 40, bro. Like I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know how to edit videos really. Like I'm learning as I go here. And
that's the way to do it, though.
Yeah, I look back 6 months ago and I'm like, look at this video compared to what I'm doing now. Like it's completely different. I'm putting logos on shit. I'm doing stuff I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. I got a new logo coming. Brian's convinced me to change it up a little bit, give it a little color, a little pop. So I got some stuff going. I got Chili Millie working on it for me. You know Chili? She works with the We Don't Smoke the Same guy. She's done some stuff for Brian in the past.
I didn't know Brian when he did all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so me and Brian met kind of like when I moved out here to LA. So like we've only kind of been kicking it for like 6 months, but we clicked really fast and we're like trying to do the same thing. He's from Virginia, I'm from Boston, so it's kind of like we got that East Coast twang to where we have that fire, we have the grind, we have the work ethic, and we also have the character, you know?
Absolutely. What else was I going to say to you? I just had something I was going to ask you, but I totally forgot. All right, let me run this through a couple questions I got for you. Did I miss anything you want to plug out or anything like that, man? Anything big you guys got coming up? Any tournaments? Anything like that?
We do have some tournaments, but nothing like too solid yet. I would just say like stay on the lookout, just be ready because we definitely have some big things coming.
Have you played any in any of the Legends tournaments with Brian?
No. So the last tournament was actually full, and Brian obviously is just doing his thing, so people make exceptions.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But their next tournament on the 20th, I should be there.
Awesome. Michael's a great dude. Me and him are working on some things. He'll be making another appearance on the podcast pretty soon.
Is he the owner?
Yeah, he's the one who operates everything. He's Legit dude, man. Real good guy.
Yeah,
He'll take good care of you for sure.
sounds good.
For sure. There's he's growing that thing big. When I first seen it, it had 30 members. Now he's up to like 150 something. So
Yeah,
big
that's
things
all
in
it
there.
is.
Yep.
It's the consistency and the commute. That's why I was saying to Brian before too, is like us growing the community that we're growing, we're gonna have no problem when we want to pop out these events.
Mm-hmm.
There's just different models of it all. You know what I mean? Like he's really seems like the Legends crew is really going for that. We want to be the tournament community type vibe,
Yep.
where it's like we are trying to attract more of like brand deals and almost independent, but at the same time, like as a group.
Yep.
So it's a little bit different, but nonetheless, the Legends are killing it. I will give
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, because you're not going to really go for you're not going to go try to pair up with TaylorMade or something like that. You're going to go for the smaller, mom and pop golf companies and help try to build those and
For sure.
build those relationships.
Until we're bigger where we can work with them.
Right. Right.
At the same time too, I mean, you never know. I never pictured myself really being able to even have that conversation of like I will be working with Callaway or TaylorMade, you know what I mean? So we'll kind of cross that bridge when it comes, but no, for sure we definitely want to work with people who are in the same shoes as us and if not like you're a little influencer, like we know all about you, like we have 1,000 of you already.
Right.
So yeah, nonetheless, the small mom and pops is the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, like even with you guys though, your brand. Like when I told one of my buddies who follows my page a little bit and stuff, and I told him you were coming on tonight, he's like, "Wait," and he said the TYTC. He remembers, your name, your lettering stands out or whatever. And I'm like, "Yeah, he's coming on." He goes, "How the hell did you pull that off?" I said, "Bro, I just shot him a message." I go, "We actually communicated months ago about some things on the digital side of it." He goes, "No shit," but people know who you are and see your videos,
Yeah, dude, I've been to some places where like people like, oh, you're Tyler, you're TYTV. And it feels crazy, you know what I mean? Like people are actually like, because it's at the end of the day, like same thing with pitch and putt, like when things really start popping off, like, dude, this is your idea that you brought to life and somehow made it a business. So like props to all the creators that are doing that out there. And yeah, I mean, like if you notice me say what's up, I'm not on any Hollywoods. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like it's not all like that. It's not a popularity game. We're all just trying to make a living and trying to do our thing,
And I can attest to that. I mean, every time I reached out to you, you were very responsive, like willing to help in any way, and I appreciate that. Because, dude, like honestly, me being older, I don't know this side of it, so like I'm always looking for what you younger kids are doing and how it's it's working and how it like what some things I could change or do, and like I don't know that aspect of it. I'm outside of that part of the game, so trying to get a younger crowd too, like the guys in their 20s in the cannabis side who are golfing, hanging out with their buddies, having a few beers. That's kind of where I want to go too. I don't want the guys playing from the senior tees, really. That's not my channel. So I got to find a way to get a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And I think the best way to do that, dude, is just like, don't bite on people who don't genuinely want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, don't pay people because then you're going to have that. Like, like, oh yeah, if I can really plug this or plug that, like, dude, like if somebody wants to be part of something, like do it, whether it's one follower or a billion followers, and most people for the most part in this content game are genuine people, but you will get those people who are like, I need this, I need that, I need this. And it's just like, okay, sounds good. You won't be in touch.
Peace out. Yeah.
And that's the thing. People let a K next to their number of followers just get right to their head.
Yep.
And it's funny, but it's how it is.
Yeah, I get excited when I got 1,000. I was excited because, dude, literally at Christmas, I had 150 followers at Christmas.
I know when we first talked, I was going to say that I don't really remember the exact number, but it had to be in like 200-300 range.
Yeah, and it's just maybe about 1,400 now. And I was like, holy shit.
And keep going.
Yeah.
Crushing it. It's consistency. What did I tell you in the first?
That's 100%, dude. It's literally you got to be committed and consistent. And I was like, all right. That's some good advice because that means I literally had a conversation with my wife. I was like, listen, I'm going to start taking this podcast thing a little bit more serious. She goes, what do you mean? I was like, well, I'm going to be a lot more active on social media. I'm going to start recording videos of the podcast. I'm going to do all this and that. And that was like January. Come February 1st, I was signed to a network, signed to the Golfer Gang Network. So
Okay.
became monetized to where like I'll get paid for ads and shit like that. I mean, it's not millions, but it's enough to like help upgrade equipment and do shit like that, you know?
Yeah. Compounding interest.
Yep.
Compound, not even interest, but just compounding. You know what I mean? Like I mean, I still only have 2,000 followers too. TikTok, 3,000, YouTube, not even 1,000 yet. So it's definitely a grind. And you also have to realize that we're in a niche that is big, but also like not too big in the grand scheme of things, right? Because
Right.
it's like you see a shitty music artist who's putting his music out there might have way more followers than us because people who listen to music are far greater than people who play golf, let alone want to listen to people who want to play golf. So you also
That's a
got,
good way to look at it, man.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
you can't just compare yourself. You can't compare yourself to a Travis Matthew or like you ever seen those like Fresh and Fit podcasts where they just put girls down? Like you can't
Yeah.
that like they're just different niches to everything. So what we're doing is definitely hard ingrained community work, you know, because
Yep.
you see there's people who you still talk to who have been there since 100 followers. Am I right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there
So,
definitely is. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's like just keep plugging away and keep that in your
Mm-hmm.
back of your mind.
Yeah, because it was actually I got like one of my first messages from someone like talking about what they heard on the podcast, and I was like, people really are listening. It's not bots just downloading the thing for me. It's just not me and my family and a couple of my buddies. Like there's people like, and I see it too on my side of things. Like I can see the chart where the growth is coming. Like, and I've expanded. Like I've had guests on from Texas. I had you guys in California. I've had people in Pittsburgh. I've had people in all over the place. I got guys from Michigan coming on next week. Like just expanding the whole thing as much as I can to get those different areas to see what happens. Worst
Yeah.
thing you're gonna hear is no. Okay. Like you said,
Literally.
on to the next one.
Next guy. There's about 8 billion people in this world.
Yep.
Can't slow it down. Can't slow yourself down for one person, a group of people. It's just not. It's not how it goes, you
Just
know.
keep it moving. Yep. Just
Yeah.
keep moving.
But yeah, I like the little setup you have going in the background. You got the pitch putt
Yeah.
pod.
So my buddy, the company I work for a beer distributor, and I'm real good friends with the owner. So they just did a huge renovation over there. So I said, hey man, what's the chance that the Pitch Puff can get a nice sign made in our luxurious warehouse with a beautiful print shop and boom, boom, boom. He's like, yeah, all right, bro. What do you need? And I sent him the logo. Literally the next day I had it because I had like a stupid little banner behind me before. I didn't have like a good setup. Like I usually record like my live podcast from my buddy's house. He's got a nice little studio set up in his basement we've been using, which has been working out. But it's actually for me, which is crazy. It's harder for me to get guys from locally than it is to get guests from all over, just because they're afraid to come on or like they're just not used to it. But it's just that you got to jump into an avenue you're not used to.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. There's a lot of people who, it's what they say too, is like your friends aren't going to support you as much as the people who you've never met before, you know?
Yep.
So it's like, I've always told people that too. It's like, get out of that feeling of like, oh, I don't want my aunt follows me. I don't want her seeing this, or my mom. It's just like, dude, like if you're just going to limit yourself to not letting the people in your hometown not get to know you, you're never going to make it ever in anything, just point blank, because the people who are out there who don't know you are the ones that are going to support you.
Right.
That's just.
It's true though. It's true. I mean, I do get a lot of support from my friends, my close friends and stuff like that. And majority of the guys, the 8 guys we golf with, have been jumping on. So I have been, as it's been growing, I've been getting some support. And that's the thing too. Like, dude, I'm not even posting any golf shit. Like we don't have any clips. Like we're not even golfing yet and I'm growing like that. So what's going to happen when I have more golf content to put out and shit like that, you know? So
I agree.
we'll see what happens.
It's only up from here.
That's it. Yeah. You got to be willing to take risk and hear no's once in a while. That's all.
More than once in a while, once you start really putting yourself out there. And that's the beauty of it, though.
No doubt. Let me ask you these 3 quick questions. What's your favorite course you've played so far in the 2 short years you've been playing?
I'll tell you this. Can it be a course that I didn't play but I filmed at?
Sure.
Because I filmed for a lot of creators.
Yeah.
I would say Trump National
Okay.
in Los Angeles. I filmed for the Divot Dudes, one of the guys that used to work for Good, Ben Haddon, Sarah Winter, and I got to film them have a 2v2, and I was just starstruck by that course. It was just
Nice.
like, it's on the beach. It's absolutely gorgeous. Everything about it, the food,
Yeah.
the service, it was sick. Another one, maybe if I'd had to put two, would be Monarch Beach Club, Monarch Golf Links, which
Okay.
is like San Diego-ish. But other than that, like, I can't really say for maybe my personal is like that I played had to be Oak Quarry.
Okay.
It was one of
Yeah,
the
you guys. I mean, the courses out there are going to be a lot nicer than any course I'm playing out here. I can guarantee you that. You know how
yeah,
it is out here.
this one was #1 on Golf Digest, so it was definitely a ranked course. But yeah, that's probably all I got on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What about your favorite club in your bag?
Favorite club? I gotta go with my 56. I'm really a wedge guy.
All
I
right.
just love. There's something about being like 110 and in for me that I just feel the most comfortable with.
That's where I'm the least comfortable, to be honest with you. That
Yeah.
56 and in. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what's one thing you want to improve on this season?
One thing I want to
Your
improve on.
season's a little bit different than mine, but that's a question I've been asking the guys lately. What's the one thing everybody wants to get better at this year in the golf game?
See, I think the #1 thing is like stamina. It's really stamina where it's like come hole 14. I played the 4th round I've had this week,
Yep.
and I need like we're chasing one or we're up by one. You know what I mean, in
Mm-hmm.
a match or something, and I just sometimes it's the mental.
Mental toughness of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I'm playing fine. It has nothing to do with my swing. It's just like mentally being able to keep up with playing whatever it is, 54 holes, 72 holes, whatever it is, like
Yeah.
because out here is like golf all year round. So
Mm-hmm.
there's weeks where I've had family come out where I'm playing 5 rounds in a week.
Wow.
Come that 4th, 5th round where it's like, dude, when it comes to like the 14th hole and on, like that's when golf really matters. So I
Yep.
would say stamina. And other than that, maybe off the tee box, I'm very, very inconsistent. Other than that, my ball striking with irons and putting and wedges they're
It's all
always
progress, man. You're only 2 years in, being that you're handicapped that you are now. You're making progress as it is.
for
So you'll be all
sure.
right.
For sure.
Dude, I really appreciate you, Tyler. I appreciate you coming on. I hope to keep connected in the future and working together if we can down the road. I'll
Yeah.
keep, tagging you guys and shit. And if you guys got anything you need me to promote, just send it my way. As
Yeah.
Brian does, I'm more than happy to share away and get the name out best I can.
Okay, word. I'm actually speaking of New York though, I'm actually gonna be in New York mid-April. But like I'm flying out of JFK.
Uh-huh.
Is that close to you at all?
No, it's about 2 hours. I'm 2 hours away from the city. So you're down, JFK's in the city. I'm up in Albany, so it's like 2 hours.
Okay. Maybe we could meet in the middle somewhere.
How long are you gonna be in New York for?
I don't know. It's like a cross country product shoot.
Okay.
And we're going from California to New York, like driving.
Uh-huh.
So it could be 2 days, it could be 4, it could be 1.
Okay. Let me know a little bit closer to like when we'll talk off record and we'll figure it out from there. But where can everybody find you?
I think priority has lately shifted away a little bit from my personal brand, although we will talk about where you can find me in the personal brand. But you guys can go check out ForeLeftt Golf on YouTube. ForeLeftt with 2 T's. Unfortunately, ForeLeftt we're trying to work on getting without the 2 T's. On Instagram, and then my personal You can find me on Instagram, TikTok under Twhyyytv. It's T, the word Y, like WHYY TV.
Awesome.
There you got it.
Appreciate your time, man. Really do. And stay on here. We'll talk for a second. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you go check out our sponsor, 420 Bliss, over on Hoosick Street, right in the Walmart Plaza. They had some pretty good flour I got in there the other day. Was the cookies, one of the cookies pre-rolls. Make sure you check it out. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Later.